Hey everybody, thanks so much for hopping on. So we're actually going to be talking about the infamous drops and how they are changing so many people's health. And we're also going to touch a little bit on how you can become a client or even become a brand partner like us. And so we were supposed to have Sheila on as a speaker, but she's not feeling too good tonight. So Billy is so nice, and she was able to hop in and help us out. So take it away, Billy.
All right. So thanks for having me, ladies. I'm glad I could help out tonight. And I'll just give you the 30-second background of me and how I got here. So I have been using these drops for about 18 months, almost 18 months. I guess I started in June of 2024. I keep wanting to say 2023. It's like I'm in denial that 2025 is almost over. And I was experiencing a lot of the things that you see on the screen. I was actually having chronic, like a low grade chronic headache, mood swings, digestion issues, dare I say, low libido, all of the things, right? I had night sweats, not all the time, but when I would get them, they were like, soak the back of my head, just all of the things. And I was just not feeling well. Not feeling. If I had to give my score out of how myself a score out of how I felt on a scale of 1 to 100, I might have been a 70 or a 75. I knew that I could feel better, and I have a lot of issues with my thyroid. I just had a biopsy done on my thyroid, and that kind of scared me. I didn't kind of scared me into thinking about how can I support this for the rest of my life aside from relying on a prescription. And so when I found the drops, that was me. I was just like tired and low energy and just brain fog, my sleep, all the things, not feeling 100%. And I started using the drops, and within a couple of weeks, I could not get over how good I felt. We were in the busiest time of year for our family, the last 2 weeks of June, with school getting out and all kinds of things that our family's involved with for Canada Day weekend in our town. It was just a lot. And normally I would have been super like irritable. I would have been, I kind of, in the past, I had kind of dreaded it the past 2 years before that, because it's very draining, very physically demanding, just all of the volunteer stuff that we do. So I was blown away over the course of that weekend when I had like crazy amounts of energy. I wasn't feeling super irritated by just all of the things and people and things that normally would have made me really irritated didn't. My mood was so much better. My energy was through the roof. And the real kicker, though, was I put on a pair of pants. It was cold and rainy that Canada Day morning, and I wanted something to wear into town that it wouldn't be picking up mud on my pants through the day, right? And I put on a pair of pants that I'd never been able to do up, and I did them up. And just a month prior, I'd tried to do them up to wear to hockey, and I couldn't do them up. And so that was like I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've lost some weight," because I didn't I didn't start the drops for the weight loss, and I started them for the thyroid support. And I remembered my friend Anne, who shared them with me, saying that, these, like, I've lost some inches. Like, she talked about her inches she'd lost and stuff, but she also wasn't really using them for a weight loss tool. And as it turned out, there were so many different things that the drops would do. And helping you with these things that you see on the screen is a big part of that. And so it's really, we talk a lot about the victories that we have on the scale and weight loss and inches lost, but really for me, what it is about what's happening on the inside. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that tonight. When we get what's going on the inside taken care of, what happens on the outside naturally takes care of itself. And so as I learn more about the doctors, I really didn't know. I didn't know what I was buying. I honestly didn't. I just told my friend, I'm like, well, I want the best deal and I'll give them a try. I'll buy one box. And I started learning a little bit more over time about the doctors, about the people who are behind the products. And I started seeing a lot of videos from Dr. Ray Strand. He's one of them that I listened to some videos about how he explained things. And if you can switch the slide now to that would be great. And the way he explains things is so simple. And he really, he's been a part of lots of our clinical trials and studies and things that they've done for the products. And he just explained things in such a simple way, and it made so much sense. And as I've gotten to know the products and the people behind them that much more, I realize how incredible they really are. These are some of the very accomplished people that we have behind them, but there's so much more to our company than just the drops. There's a ton of other products. And what's cool about that is that whether you are looking at this tonight just to learn more about the drops themselves or more about this from a business perspective, we have so many mega trends like from weight management, energy drinks, sports performance, dietary supplements, all of these things, all of these huge sectors of our the marketplace are places where we can tap into with our products. So we have a little bit of everything from um your everyday multivitamins and minerals. We have collagen, we have fat burners, we have energy drinks, we have it all. And I love that we have access to that with our memberships to get a really incredible product with really great science behind it and really great ingredients, but also with a really great discount attached. And so I'll turn it back over to you, Nada, and you can share a little bit more about the drops themselves. And I remember when I shared these with her, we were talking about it, and she's like, and she'll tell you more about her story, but she was skeptical. She was skeptical too. Like, are these going to help? But at the same time, I feel like many of us could relate to the fact that we're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And you get to a certain point where you get tired of feeling like, feeling not feeling well and 100%. And so I'll turn it over to you, Nada. You can explain a little bit more about your story and what you found since starting them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I was skeptical, I have to say, but I had seen actually. So, Billy and I knew each other for previously, and Sheila and I knew each other previously as well. So, I trusted them. And when I saw them post about the drops, I was very curious because it had been, gosh, it had been a while, like I would say a good 2 years where I was trying everything from walking my 10,000 steps a day, eating my protein, counting my macros. I started strength training in January and I was really into it. I was like, I hate exercising, but I was doing it 3, 4, 5 times a week because I was determined to just feel like myself again. And with menopause, I just woke up one day and kind of like looked in the mirror and said, who is this person in the mirror? Like I just could not recognize myself. And so when I saw them talking about the drops, my main reason was to lose some pounds, I have to admit. And because I didn't really think I needed, like I thought I was pretty good. Like I thought I had good energy and I was sleeping well. And but it's when I started the drops, and I have to tell you, that is when I noticed that my energy went up. That's where I noticed that my focus was better. And so I hadn't really noticed before trying the drops, but then once I had tried the drops, that's where I noticed all of those little tweaks that had started to change. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey afterwards, but I just want to talk about hormones and what these drops do and how they actually affect these four major hormones, which one of them is cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And you know what? Even though we don't think we're stressed, as we age, it is a fact. It is like, data studied. When we get into our midlife, 40s, 50s, etc., our bodies are actually having a harder time to balance out cortisol, insulin, ghrelin, and leptin. So it is actually not our faults. It is our bodies that are just having a harder time to do that. And so cortisol, which is a stress hormone, it's released when we are stressed, when we're scared, when we're under pressure. And when it's not balanced, it actually leads to weight gain, inflammation, digestive issues, low energy, and much more. Insulin is the blood sugar monitor, and it helps our body, how it kind of redistributes sugar throughout our body. And so when that's not balanced, it could lead to weight gain, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, vision problems, heart disease, liver issues, and much, much more. And I used to think like gut health was really, really important. And don't get me wrong, it really is. But I think insulin insulin balance outweighs gut health even more when it comes to our overall well-being. Ghrelin is the hunger hormone, and that signals to our body when we're hungry. And when that's not balanced, it we're more hungry. It's difficult to feel full. We tend to overeat. We have cravings and irregular like eating patterns. And then we've got leptin, which is the satiety hormone, which basically tells our body when we're full. And when that's not balanced, it could lead to constant hunger, again, weight gain, difficulty losing weight, and metabolism issues, etc. So in come the fabulous drops. And so what they do is they actually help us to lose weight 2 times faster than if we were going to be doing diet and exercise alone. So they will support weight management, help control appetite, stimulate metabolism, helps increase energy, boosts mood. And that's something else that I noticed as well is I'm not a very anxious person, but I did really realize that I wasn't as anxious as I was, and my focus was really like I was back, like Nada was back, and I wasn't like a squirrel. Like I have a bit of, I don't know, maybe undiagnosed ADHD. And that's another thing apparently that is common in women that are midlife. So I've noticed that that has really gone a lot better. And digestive issues too, that they help digestive health as well. So, like I mentioned before, if on average, if somebody were to be careful with what they're eating, being more mindful of being more of a calorie deficit, um, people would tend to lose on average 1 to 2 pounds per week. That's average. And I gotta tell you, that wasn't my case. I was doing everything good and I still wasn't losing weight. So that's where the drops come in, and they actually have data that proves clinically proven that when you use the drops with a clean eating diet and moving your body, you will lose 2 times faster the weight than if you were doing it just with diet and exercise alone. So along with the drops, I mean they're holistic, they're amazing. It's not a magic wand. So of course, we do always recommend that people are be mindful with what they're eating and what quality foods that they're eating, because getting healthy is 80% our diet and 20% our exercise. And so it's not just about how much we eat, but also the quality of the food that we're feeding ourselves, because we really want to nourish our body and not just eat to eat. So it comes with we do have a list along with the drops. There's a booklet and it comes with a list, and the list has foods that will not spike our blood sugar level, foods that won't cause inflammation, and foods that don't cause hormonal disruption. So we do highly recommend that people look at that list and you utilize that list along with it if their objective really is to lose weight. But even at that, I mean, just joint pain and inflammation, it comes also with the types of foods that we're eating. So I'm going to actually share a couple of products that I personally love and that are very popular. So the AbVantage helps to burn calories 10 times faster. And so it helps to reduce stubborn visceral fat, the fat that's around our organs that is super dangerous. It helps to reduce that. It helps to also increase metabolism and activates fat burning cells, and also helps to prevent, the regaining the weight that we've lost. So, again, when we hit our 40s and 50s, our metabolism slows down. And so this really comes in really handy to rev up that metabolism even more. So the Sugar Stop is actually a really cool product too, because it helps to block up to 40% of sugars from starch-based food and up to 20% from sugars that are like table sugar. And so what I really like about this is that, I'm not someone that eats a lot of starch, but this time of year, we're going to be going out, there's parties, and we're going to be invited to people's houses. And so this is really cool to take before, because it will definitely help to, help the sugar, how the sugar affects our body. And this is actually fantastic for somebody that actually does eat a lot of high starch foods or sugars and has a little bit of a harder time with that. This will help with the blocking of the how the sugar is metabolized in the body. The noni is a like I think it's a wow product, honestly. Like it has so many amazing health benefits, promotes overall health, supports a healthy immune system. Again, we're going to be out and about a lot, seeing a lot of people, parties, etc. We want our immune system to be on its, on its best behavior. It also helps with joint health, mobility, cardiovascular system. It actually contains powerful adaptogens. So that's definitely something that I would recommend somebody taking just so that to boost that immune system, especially around this time of year as well. So I don't know if you guys follow some people on Facebook and have seen the before and afters, but we have literally thousands of people that have amazing results with the drops. The drops have actually been around for 13 years. And I'm always blown away to see all of these testimonials of people, and not only just with weight loss, but also with so many other health benefits too. This is me. So I have to say, like they suggest when we start the drops to take a picture before and take a picture after. And I have to say, I'm really happy that I did that because personally, I hadn't really seen much of a difference on the scale. And hadn't seen any difference on the scale for the first couple of months. But I had felt, the more energy, the really deep, nice sleep, and the focus, etc., in the first few weeks. But it's really after taking the after picture after 28 days, and that's where I realized it's almost like somebody popped, a balloon and it kind of like just shrank. And that was me. Like I just couldn't believe the before and after picture. And the left picture here that you see, my face. So it had been about 2 years that I had noticed that I would have a puffy face sometimes. I would wake up with it sometimes. Sometimes it would last pretty much all day. And I couldn't figure out, like, I saw it, but most people, like, I know I mentioned it to my husband and to my sister, and they're like, you look fine. And I'm thinking, no, there's something wrong with my face. I couldn't figure out what it was. And it's when I took a picture afterwards, after I had been on the drops for a couple of weeks or 2 months, that's when I saw the difference on my face on how it was back to normal. There was not puffy anymore. And there was rings that I could not wear for years that I can wear back again. And this is the one on the right is after 3 months, almost at the end of my 3 months on the drops. And that's where I weighed myself and wow, I was like down more than 10 pounds. It was just like incredible. So that's why I tell people, like, really give these drops enough time, be consistent with them, because not everybody's going to see the weight loss that they want right off the bat. It might take a little bit more time. But yeah, it's just an amazing results. This is Sheila. So Sheila actually, when she started the drops, she wanted to lose weight as well. She had given birth to her third baby and she had lost the baby weight, but then soon the weight started to creep back up. And she's a health coach and she knows what to do. She coaches people, but for some reason, whatever she was doing was not working for her. And one of her friends, one of her nurse friends said to her, you know what, it could be hormonal. And she was like, interesting. And she had been following one of her friends that was posting about the drops for, I think, a year. And then finally she said, you know what, I need to look into this. And then she started the drops, and hold and behold, that she lost the weight, and she actually became a brand partner before that, because she was just so in awe with all of the information that the drops have, the ingredients, etc. This is actually Dr. Crystal Vance. She is a chiropractor, and she lost 160 pounds using the drops with other products as well that she's added. But she actually ended up closing her clinic and focusing on sharing these products with other people and helping other people feel amazing and feel their best. This is Sojourner. She's a nurse and she's in perimenopause. She's in her early 50s, I believe. And she was having a hard time again, losing her, losing the weight around her belly, etc. And she started the drops. This is her 4 week experience. Muted. Sorry. Her husband and her have collectively lost 45 pounds together. And they are actually business partners as well. They are sharing the products with others and helping others feel amazing too. This is Billy. Billy, I'm going to let you share your little story here, although you
Sure.
shared it a little bit in the front.
Sure. So, biggest thing that I would add on to what I shared earlier is that for me, again, it's like you don't realize how puffy you are until you like actually put a selfie side by side. And it's so funny. When you try it, you feel like you've tried everything. So you're like, this probably isn't going to work, but whatever, I'll take a stab at it because I'll see what happens. I didn't take measurements. I lost 18 pounds. Um, I probably could follow that food list. And not probably, I could definitely follow the food list more closely. But for me, it's inflammation. And even just reducing that inflammation all over your body is huge. But the other thing that I was thinking about as you were going through that, Nada, and you were talking about when a lot of people say, well, can I use these drops? Like, why do I need these drops if I just eat healthy and exercise? Yes, you can do that. But you know what these will do is I don't know if you ever, I know in the past when I've done different clean eating programs and things like that, I felt like I was torturing myself because I was always thinking about when my next snack was going to be, what it was going to be, when was my next meal going to be. Um, the food noise is for me a really key thing that has helped me really just it just in general, like I'm not a snack I don't have that 3-4 o'clock p.m. snack attack anymore. I don't crave like chips and salty foods and sweets, and I still will have some of those things, if we're out and about as a like whatever, but it's not I don't have that food noise getting in the way. And so for someone like even like you, Nada, when you're like, I'm doing all the things, this can help. It's like that inflammation is so huge. And you even look at Petra. Petra has an incredible story about how the drops and some other Partner Co products have helped her. And there's just so many people that when we look through, we can see that, weight loss, the number on the scale, a lot of people will say, oh, don't let it define you and whatnot. But it really is, it really is a reflection of what's going on the inside of our body. And so one of the things that I had explained to me when I started, as Nada kind of clicks through these before and afters, I like to think of the drops as a fire hose. And inside our bodies, we have fires going on. We might not know what those fires are. And so for what Nada had going on, what I have going on, what Sheila had going on, what other people, everybody's a little bit different. And so those of you that are on this Zoom, you might be like, well, for me it's this, for me it's this. What the drops, I like to think of them as like a little fire extinguisher, and they're going to go in and they're going to put out the biggest fire first. And so for someone like Nada said, she's like, I didn't really see any movement on the scale right away. I wasn't sure if they were doing their thing, but what they were doing for her was what was different, say, than what they might be doing for somebody else. But they're putting out those fires in your body. And that's why it's really important to give them time and give them time to allow, our bodies are not Amazon Prime. We can't Amazon Prime 20 pounds weight loss overnight, right? And it's taken us a lot of years. I'm 44. It took me 44. I'm 44 years on this earth of decisions and being a result of what's been going on in my body. So we can't expect it to be gone, to change, if you will, overnight, even though it, really a lot of people will feel immediately better overnight, just by different, the energy boost, that sort of thing. And so everybody's different. I will say that though, and giving it enough time is really important. So let's talk about how do you get the drops? Okay. So the first option is become a customer. You can grab a box of drops from the person that shared this information with you or this call, if they have some on hand, or they can show you how to get them ordered up. I love that we have truly a global business. And so for someone looking at picking up, earning some extra income on the side, that's how it started for me. I started as a customer. I just wanted to use the drops, get the best deal. I became a brand partner just to get that low price on the box. And then what happened though is people started asking me, they're like, "What are you doing? You look great." And it's also one of those things where when you start feeling great, you can't help but share it with other people, and you genuinely want to share with other people what's working for you, and how you achieve that result. And so um, and so that's option two, make money sharing with other people. It's simple. And what we'll do when you get that brand partner membership is you get everything you need to be set up for a business. The company will track all your orders. You'll get your own website. You'll have a share app. We've got a really incredible app you can download on your phone. It has all kinds of different materials, all kinds of beautiful marketing tools. We have an expert onboarding program. We have a system of growth that's designed to literally help you plug in and like plug and play. And when you plug in, get yourself plugged into what we do here, and get yourself onboarded. I don't want to say you can't go wrong, but when you get plugged in and you follow the system, you will earn income. You will earn. So if you're looking at doing a business, a couple of the different options that you have. So we have one of the things that really impressed me when I joined as a brand partner. I've got a lot of background in techie stuff. I'm a little bit of a tech nerd, but I've got limits. I don't know coding or fancy stuff like that on the internet, but I do know when you're sharing a product, when you're sharing through affiliate marketing, sharing links, things like that. I do know about that. And I've got 20, I'm in 20 years this year in this industry alone. And many of the missing pieces that I've seen in other brands and other opportunities, we have filled in those gaps. So we have the opportunity for people to simply share a link. So you've got a friend in France or in Japan or Australia or right next door, across the city from you, if you will. You can share a smart link where they can get their products shipped to their door. And every single time that products ship from the company to their door, to all of your customers, you're going to earn a commission from that. And so I won't go through all the numbers. I'll let you kind of zoom in on your screen. You can do screenshots or if you're watching the recording later, but it's really incredible the kind of income that we can earn. And one of the things that also stood out to me, having been in this industry for a really long time, was the opportunity to earn really fantastic, not, I say really fantastic, it's incredible retail income. And why this is significant is because this is where I can say to you, as no matter what you do, what your background, where in Canada you live, if you live in super remote, and I say we're in Canada, but we really work like this in many pockets of the world. But I'm just going to talk about Canada specifically. No matter where you live, you can build a business retailing drops as well. So you can also increase your retail profit. But what I love about that is some people get into this and they say, I don't want to build a team. I honestly I wasn't interested in building another team in this industry when I found out about these drops. But what I did know is that they worked for me, and my friends were asking me about them. And so I was able to earn really fantastic income. I mean, Christmas is coming. You could be I see Julie on here. Julie has sold over 30. Well, Julie, you've been in a little bit longer. Her sister shared the other day how she's sold over 30 boxes in 3 weeks. That's over $2,000. And so where can you go and in 1 month earn that kind of income? And that to me is what makes this worth sharing, because it's so worthwhile and it's literally life-changing for people. That can be the difference between, food on the table and not for summer, or really paying for Christmas cash instead of credit card, right? So it really is simple. It's simple. It's fun. And when people come to you and they start saying, I cannot believe how good I feel. I cannot believe my pants fit. I put on a pair of pants I'd never worn. I zipped up my winter coat that was tight on me last year and it fits great. No matter what the testimonials are, that's really fun when people are seeing results on the products, but also when people start building a business and the business starts providing for them. That's also very I don't even know how to describe it. It's so satisfying knowing that I can, and anyone on this call, we can help people build a business. We can help people get healthy and help get healthy financially and your actual health, improve your health in the long term. So bought new clothes and down a size in 3 weeks, Catherine says. So there's so many good reasons to try the drops. And so my encouragement, and I'll pass it back to you, Nada, but I'll just leave it with this. My encouragement to you all would be, don't wait until the new year, start now. What if you get your willpower? We call these drops liquid discipline in a bottle, right? What if you reached for a few less treats over the holidays? You kept your energy up, your mood was good. What if you started now and you were down 10 pounds instead of up 10 pounds? And so don't wait. Get started today. Get with the person that invited you to this and have them share with you the best way for you to get started. So anything else you want to add, Netta?
No, my gosh, it was great. And yeah, I mean, why would you want to wait, honestly, to feel your best? Like seriously, why would you, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So thank you everybody for jumping on and yes, just get with the person that shared this with you and get in where you fit in the best way that suits you best.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good evening.
Bye.